But we met in a place called Da Nang, Vietnam. The guys from Evansville, and we hung out there for a little while. Took R&R in country. Some of us were doing better than the other ones. One guy in particular still struggles today.
I had a friend of mine that I did run into that was a gunner on a chopper. He had been flying choppers for 7, 8 months. And he'd been shot down 4 times, but he'd only been wounded twice. It took 3 Purple Hearts to come home. And it struck me that, you know, if you're shot down, you survive a helicopter crash 4 times, it ought to count. And I remember him sitting there, and he was somebody I really admired and respected. He was one tough guy. And I just remember him sitting there smoking a cigarette, and his hand was shaking. I remember that scared me when I saw that, because I thought, this guy's fearless.
I remember one time I went down to the halo pad, and a friend of mine, his eyes were just blank. I mean, he had just seen so much. It was just rough.
There was no place that you could be in that country at that time that you were safe. I mean, there were some that was a lot more dangerous than others, but you could be in the most rear area and you'd get rocketed or mortared.
We lost 6 men in Vietnam out of the 210 men that were there. Had about 100 Purple Hearts in the company. I remember the first time somebody died. Larkins got killed in February of 1969, and we'd been there about 5-6 weeks, something like that, when he got killed, and it was a nighttime contact. The attitude in the company of the men that was there at base camp at that point in time almost would turn to anger. Angry that they went on that mission that night late, angry that he died. Then it became remorseful. And then it came almost to the realization, this is a real war. You know, they are shooting real bullets out there.
Our unit's back was to the South China Sea. And so we had a lot of activity when TET started in '68. Pretty much a lot of death during that period.
Overall, the 3 years that the battalion was in Vietnam, we lost 236 total. So that was a pretty hefty percentage for an infantry battalion, which typically runs about 800 men.
There were times at night you could take a lawn chair and we'd sit up kind of on one of the sand hills and what we called watch the war and just see stuff. I mean, just whether it was bombing or strafing or, you know, you could just see stuff happening. And I remember after Hill 881, going down the runway and just seeing rows of body bags, just rows of body bags. I'd never seen anything like that before.
3 of the guys that had gone with me to Vietnam, 3 of my leaders were killed. That's still probably the roughest day of my life.